Hey guys, how you doing? Hope you're doing okay. We're going to look at two articles in regards to the same tragic subject. The first article was published earlier today, and the second was published several hours later, and there's more updated information. It is a tragic circumstance. It involves the murder of the young lady that you see in front of you, 13-year-old Milana Li. She was found dead in a stream less than a mile from her home 24 hours after being reported missing from Beaverton. Beaverton is in Oregon. Found dead in a stream less than a mile away from her home. So I'll just mention here that in itself reminds me of the tragic case of Logan Mwangi, South Wales. The young boy, 5-year-old, if I recall, I believe he was 5, was tortured, abused, and ultimately murdered at the hands of his mother, stepfather, and an adopted boy that lived in his home, 14-year-old or 13-year-old at the time. And I'm mentioning Logan Mwangi's case because Milana Li was found in a stream, as was Logan. Logan's body was carried by the stepfather and dumped in a stream less than a mile, or give or take a mile, away from his home. And that seemingly is at least similar to the case with Milana Li, this 13-year-old from Beaverton, Oregon, who has been found dead. Here's some pictures of the area where Milana's body was found, and we see the forensic yellow flags indicating the area that her body was dumped. Okay, so we're going to have a look at the second article to begin with, and the reason is because that's going to give us more updated information, such that the medical examiner's office was able to perform an autopsy, and the result of that autopsy is such that the medical examiner's office has confirmed that the manner of death of Milana Li, the 13-year-old from Beaverton, Oregon, was a homicide. We're not really given any further information. We're not told how she died, but we are told that following the autopsy, which occurred Wednesday afternoon, that Milana Li's death has been ruled a homicide. We're not told if the police have any suspects. We're not told if anyone has been detained or arrested or charged. However, we are told that investigators believe that there is not a continued threat to the community. So I'm going to just comment on that point there, and this is wild speculation on my part and perhaps inappropriate. And before I do, I'm going to say, of course, full condolences to the lost child. 13-year-old Milana Li has had her life taken away. What a tragedy. If you believe in heaven, let's hope, let's pray that she goes to heaven. I'm sure she will. And normally at this point in time, I would offer condolences to the family, which of course I do. But I am going to add this, and this is wild speculation, and you may find this offensive. But my wild speculation, and perhaps that's based on the location that the body was found, again, less than a mile from her home, dumped in or around a stream. And again, this reminds me very much of Logan Mwangi. And that was a murder case, as I say, at the hands of his mother and stepfather and an adopted boy that lived in the family home. So, as much as I normally offer condolences to the family, and I still do, of course, but my fear, my wild speculation is that a family member is involved, that a family member is perhaps under suspicion, despite the police at this point in time saying that they don't have any particular suspects. And I say that, as I say, perhaps because of the location that Milana Li's body was found, dumped in a stream close to her home, but also on the basis that the investigators have announced to the local community that they believe that there's no further threat, which to me, again, this is wild speculation on my part, and I'm by no means an expert in this kind of thing, but to me that suggests that the police believe that this was a targeted attack, and the culprit would not have attacked anyone other than Milana Li, which in itself I think would, well, it would lead me to believe that a family member would be a suspect. But I don't know, maybe my thoughts are completely wonky. It wouldn't be the first time. But we're going to look through the details more thoroughly in just a moment. But another thing that I will mention very quickly is that Milana Li is Russian. She is Russian, and she doesn't speak very good English, only a little English, and she's not overly familiar with the area either. So, why am I mentioning that at this point? Because I'm just wondering if that's perhaps a factor. If somebody attacked her, killed her, because she's Russian. There's a lot of hatred towards Russia at the moment, given the Ukraine-Russia war. Whatever your views upon that are, there's a lot of, we can all acknowledge that there's a lot of hatred towards Russia, and we know that hate crimes are a thing. I'll be making another video shortly in regards to a potential Asian community hate crime. Hate crimes are a thing, so I'm just wondering if perhaps this was a hate crime. Was she attacked because she's Russian? I don't know. Again, just a thought. I don't even know if that's speculation. But I will read through this article more thoroughly at this point. But before I do, again, full condolences to the loss of an innocent child, Milana Li, 13 years of age, murdered. And I will say full condolences to the family concerned. I hope that I'm wrong, that I believe that there is the chance that a family member was perhaps partially responsible or fully responsible in regards to the disappearance and murder of Milana. I hope I'm wrong in that. Full condolences, apologies if I am way off base. But I have to say what I feel, and as I say, the location in particular reminds me of the Logan Mwangi case, which is worth looking into if you're not familiar with the Logan Mwangi case. It's a heartbreaker. But now we're going to look through this article more thoroughly. A missing 13-year-old Beaverton girl was found dead in a park on Tuesday, about 24 hours after her mother reported her disappearance. Beaverton police, and Beaverton is in Oregon, I believe. Beaverton police said that they were called to the West Side Regional Trail near the intersection of Southwest Barrows Road and Horizon Boulevard at about 3 p.m. on Tuesday for what they described as suspicious circumstances. There, they found the body of Milana Li in a small stream off the West Side Regional Trail. Barrows Park is less than a mile from the girl's home and school. On Wednesday morning, remnants of yellow police tape lay in grass on a wood fence along the paved trail. A dirt bush-lined pathway leads downhill to a secluded forested area littered with cans and bottles and a couple of abandoned tires. Down below, a cold water stream about 1 to 2 feet deep and 10 feet wide was marked by yellow forensic flags, appearing to indicate the area where Milana Li's body was discovered. A few of the flags were submerged and others lined the muddy bank. So yeah, this is where they found her. And here's a small memorial. Candles, flowers, kettle corn chips. I presume her favorite. So, seemingly, she was discovered less than a mile from her home and her school. Milana was last seen at her family's apartment near Southwest Murray Boulevard and Skulls Ferry Road. She was wearing plaid pajama pants, a dark hooded sweatshirt, and Converse shoes. In a missing persons alert, police said that Milana Li's first language was Russian, but that she spoke some English, a second language that she struggled with. Is that an aspect here? Is it possible that there was a hate crime? Her mother told police that she had a cell phone, but that it was likely turned off. The mother also said that Milana was not familiar with TriMet, so I believe that means the local area. Police initially called Milana a runaway. And that's really all of the information that we have at this point. There's not a great deal of information. I think that there's a good chance that more information will come out over the next few days. Hopefully these guys, the investigators, get some leads. I suspect that they have some leads. Really, honestly, I believe that's my suspicion. They have some suspects or suspect already. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I hope, I guess. Because I would like to see the culprit brought to justice, or the culprits brought to justice. And I have faith that that's going to happen. I really do hope it does. I hope these guys, the investigators, if they don't have leads yet, let's hope that they do. If anyone does have any information, you can contact this specific detective here at the Beaverton Police Department, Detective Cindy Herring. But of course, just contact the authorities with any potential leads that you might have. Full condolences to the loss of an innocent child, Milana Li, 13 years of age, tragically murdered. The autopsy has confirmed that her death was a murder, a homicide, and we hope that she gets justice, that there is justice for this. Condolences to the family, of course. Apologies if I'm out of pocket, as it were, for expressing my views, my wild speculation. As I say, that's perhaps because of the similarities of the discovery of the body within a mile away from her home, dumped in a stream. It reminds me of the Logan Mwangi case. But I'm going to wrap things up here. I'm going to thank you for your time. If you do value this kind of content, please do like, comment, subscribe, and take care.